Alright, everybody. Syncratic again. I'm back. And this is what I've been working on. This is why I disappeared for the longest time. So, I redid all the IP adapters because Mateo updated them, and they are better. I don't know what else to say. They're better, and they have a lot more. You can do a lot more with them now. I still haven't played with the embed scaling. I'm not entirely sure what all of this is. I've just left it on V only, but I guess I can tinker with that in this video. So this is advanced subject masking. You all probably know I've been working on subject masking. This is the evolution of all of that. So I've been working with the shape mask nodes, and I now have a node that can pretty much put anything anywhere. So it's got up, down, left, and right controls to adjust where the shape mask is. I built in a whole bunch of Python GOS to make it to where it just works. So when you input your width, height, and batch size, it just auto adjusts to it. So right now it is set to separate left and right on the screen because this workflow is made to separate dancers. So basically, my wife saw a video and she asked me, hey, can you separate them? And I said, I have no idea, but I'm going to figure out how to do it. And about a week later, I have figured out how to do it. They are now separated. I actually uploaded a video to my channel of 3 dancers that I had separated out into Marvel characters. So right now it works really well. But I'm going to run it, and it should be fine while I'm screen recording. Let's see here. 13.6 gigs. Yeah, it should be fine. Even, yeah, it's showing on the screen. Okay. But I'll show you guys my usage and all that stuff. But right now I'm just going to let it run through DWPose and Coco and all that and explain more of this. So these are all individual IP adapters that are set to mask 3 different characters. Right now they are masking the main dancer, dancer on the right, and the dancer on the left, all individually. So for all this to work, I had to create the right-left shape mask, and then I had to use depth mapping. So, and I know this probably sounds crazy, but I'm using depth maps to make alpha masks, and it works. It actually works way better than you would think it would. So, because depth masks are all, varying shades of white, like white to black, right? So all you got to do is this dumps your images from depth, and then you can figure out what range all the dancers are in with this neat little color picker utility. So the color picker utility tells me right now that this is 236, 236, 236, right? And I go down here and it goes to a range of 199, 199, 199. So I can mask her out by making a range from about 236 to 196. So like within 40, right? So what I did was I grabbed these awesome nodes that create masks. They create color masks. And as you can see, she's masked with a threshold of 90 to 255, 255, 255 so that I can grab her. It's not always perfect. It works better with some videos. It works worse with others. And you have to figure out the thresholds to get it to mask properly. But for the most part, Animate Diff will adhere to whatever it stuck to in the first place. So it will try to make things cohesive. And it does most of the time. So that's that mask. And then, of course, I grabbed the color from here, the shade of gray that's right here, which ended up being about 96. Gave it a threshold of 50 because they stay relatively in the same spots in the background, or at least pretty close to them. So it masks that out pretty well. Again, it's not perfect, but it does do a pretty good job. And set that to blue with simple image blank, or set that to green with a simple image blank. Set the initial dancer to red, and named all the masks, of course, because they work better that way. Although this one's green and that. Okay, so they're a little bit backwards. I'll fix that before I release it. Anyway, as you can see, it pulls the green mask. So then I took the green mask and where did I move that? I added 2 composite mask nodes to grab the shape mask, the regular shape mask, and the inverted shape mask. And as you can see, the output gives me the dancer on the left, the dancer on the right, and masks out the dancer in the front. So, what you get when you do that is you pull from the red mask, that of course is the front dancer, and then that's pulling from the green mask, which it shouldn't be doing, but I'll fix that because that's going to screw things up. This should be pulling from yellow, I guess. Yeah, this should be pulling from yellow. So this is all set up to where you can just search for things like mask yellow, which is, of course, mask yellow, because all the get and set nodes are congruent with what they're like attached to. So it's very easy to find whatever you're looking for and put it wherever you want it. But anyway, that's supposed to be the yellow mask, and this is supposed to be the blue mask. And this is for visualization, of course. So the green mask is basically to be able to see both characters, push it through composite masking to get the left and right, and then send the left and right back out to these guys. So this is getting from depth anything, and so is this, because both of these are depth mapping for masks. This is getting from composite image 2, and this is getting from composite image 1. So yeah, this needs to be yellow and this needs to be blue. That way these two are the composite image from these guys is routing through the visualizer to be able to see what it's doing and what it's masking. And from the visualizer, it is heading over to the encoded IP adapters to mask what it is supposed to mask. So this right here, of course, background, right? And that is running through Cocoa, because it's just much easier to background mask through Cocoa. So I'm using Cocoa to create alpha masks and then create reverse alpha masks. And all you got to do for the background is give Coco, or give it the inverted mask from Coco, and it will mask out all the dancers and give you just the background. So I guess I didn't have this completely set up the way that I should have. But I hope you guys get the idea. The idea is to be able to segment anything in a video. Like, this is applicable to, you know, you could use Coco to mask out a window frame because, or, you know, the door in the background, that's a very specific shade of green in Coco, and it's going to continue to be a very specific shade of green in Coco. So if you wanted to mask that out, you could just find the color. In this case, it is 92.1 or 92.136.89 or 92.136.89, and that would be your RGB respectively. So if you take that and you input that into any of these nodes from their color to mask, and you tell it to get its image from Coco, it's going to mask that out to whatever color you want. And then you could take that, because this pulls all of these pull from whatever you decide to mask out color-wise, and we'll switch it to whatever color you want. And then you just throw that in your IP adapter, and it'll mask that out. So you could make the door, I don't know, spaghetti. Like, make it whatever you want. This whole workflow is built to just do all kinds of cool masking stuff. So another cool thing about this, once it finishes running, that's actually taking a while. Anyway, once it finishes running, I'll show you the results from it. And I guess I'll show you the rest of the workflow, which is pretty simple. So you've got your, oh, I need to rename both of those. That's the seed, and this is free U. That's free U V2. That's wrong. Come on, brain. Come on, brain. Free U V2. There we go. And this is seed. So that's, of course, Seed Anywhere by RNG Tree, because it's fantastic. And if you're wondering how all of this is just like not connected to anything, it's because it's all running off of get and set nodes. Everything has a get node, everything has a set node, with the exception of the control net stack, because there is no way that I know of to get the control net stack to work depending on what you have hooked up to it with get and set nodes. I tried a bunch of different combinations, and what happens is the set nodes, they want to set the control nets to like control net 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on and so forth. So if you enable one that's in the middle, like if you want depth but you don't want canny, and canny's above depth, and you enable depth, it doesn't do anything, because you have to enable them sequentially one after the other all the way down the tree. So if you wanted depth, you'd have to have canny edge, soft edge, and open pose all enabled, and it's annoying. So the easiest way to fix that was to leave a few little squiggles here and there. There's also a full set of upscaling control nets for running control nets through Ultimate SD Upscaler to upscale whatever you want. Reactor face swap is built in. I separated the VAE decode node so that you can change it between the denoised and regular output for Animate Diff LCM depending on what you want to do with it. This is a complicated Animate Diff LCM, but it's fantastic. It has a number of different things built into it. Like, it uses Euler and LCM, so it basically cleans itself up without having to have a ridiculous high-res fix thing that takes forever. and it generally runs really well at about 8 steps. It doesn't need like more than 8 steps Euler, 8 steps LCM, and just leaving the sigma at 8 with the denoise of 1 works great. It gets really good results. Speaking of really good results, like these. Yeah, it's like these. It needs some work. Like these. It works. So as you can see, the characters are masked out. Like, it's kind of messed up because I ran it without it being correctly masked out, but it's still actually working. Like, even though it wasn't exactly correct, it still works. That baffles me. I'm not entirely sure why it does that, but it does. So yeah, I think both of these are Jean Grey though, and their pants are both on fire, which is pretty cool actually. Anyway, so now that it's correctly set, I can run it again. This should give exact results. It should mask out everybody and the background exactly the way that it's supposed to. Oh, that's why it's taking a while. Hold on. I had cancel. Please cancel. Oh dear God. I think it's going to take it a second to cancel because it hit the sampler. Thank you, RNG Tree. Your stuff is amazing. Being able to just not have to run everything over and over and over again saves a ton of time. Guess I should explain the control panel while I'm waiting. This is the control panel for everything. Input, output. Where are the outputs? Oh, they're hidden. Great. I'm going to fix that right quick too. Anyway, input, output, IP adapters, all the masking nodes, animate diff, detail, let's see, there's VFI, reactor, SD upscaler, hyper tiling if you want to do that, Koya deep shrink, and a latent upscale all built in. So if you want to do latent upscaling, it's there. If you want to do regular upscaling, it's also there. Personally, I've tried latent upscaling and I do not have the RAM for it. Not that I don't have the VRAM for it, I don't have the actual RAM for it. I'm pretty sure it was screwing up my RAM really bad. Fit group 2 nodes. There we go. Okay, now that's fixed. Anyway, model and clip vision are right here, and they're all piped into all that wirelessly. Because who doesn't like wireless stuff? Let's see what this does. Because apparently it's not going to cancel. It's going to take 5 minutes. What else can I talk about in this workflow? Oh, prompt. Prompt is built with pretext, app text, and batch prompt scheduling. So if you want to make some cool stuff, it does listen to a certain extent with IP adapters and low CFG. It's not... Yeah, it works better to like describe whatever pictures you have, or like, for instance, you could... Why is that disabled? That's weird. Okay. For instance, you could like take 2 IP adapters and have one fade in and then, you know, one fade out. So kind of like a crossfade for the background, and then explain that in the batch prompt scheduler, describe it a little bit, and it should be able to pick up on that and make some cool stuff. That's something I haven't tinkered with yet. Input video. This does do cast sharpening, which is a little bit expensive sometimes, but I find that it makes the videos a little better. So it's a little bit of cast sharpening. It's like 25% cast sharpening. So it's more for help with like lower scale stuff. Because right now I'm running at 896 by 512, which is 16 by 9, and it runs fine. But when you start getting to lower resolutions, you need a little bit of sharpness to help with the to help it. It helps it animate better. Hey, pup. Yes, you're a good puppy. All right, go on. I'll get you a treat here in a second. No, go on. Go. I'll get you a treat here in a second. You're knocking stuff down. Okay. Anyway. It's almost done. What else can I explain here? Those are still named group, and that should not be named group. Now this is probably a lot. There's a lot for me to put it together. I will be releasing this to everybody because I think it's awesome, and I hope everybody else thinks it's awesome. Here in a second, I'll show you the shape masks. That was one of the things that I was going to try to do whenever it stops, because it wasn't supposed to have line art active, and that's 3 control nets is making it take quite a while. Although line art does help clean it up a bit, like a fair bit. Okay, so this is resolution batch VAE. Okay, that's done. Now I gotta fix the control panel again because it is undoubtedly broken. Oh, nope. It's fine. I think. Yeah, it's good. Cool. I made the control panel black because none of the nodes are black, and there's no control panel node for black nodes, so it can't be turned off. That way you don't accidentally turn it off. Ooh, that is nice. Oh, I like it. Everything's on fire. Like this. Oh, yeah. Like this. Like this. Yeah. Like this. Like this. I might just render this whole thing out and see how it does, because that's fire, I guess is the word. Yeah, that's fire. That's cool. Anyway, let's see. Let me show you guys the shape mask. All you have to do to test all your masks is just disable animate diff, and it will not go farther than like right here. It'll run through the control nets and whatnot to give you stuff to mask. I haven't tried anything other than depth. I did map open pose. There's a video for that on Banadoko. And I mapped. I was doing some mapping with Coco, which is really cool. But that led me to using depth for maps, which is also really cool. I might actually figure out a way to use Coco to mask out all the red, like just to take that red, because that red is 220/2060 in the RGB or in RGB, and the problem with that is it's gonna like take all people, because Coco masks all people in the exact same red. So anyway, that solves the problem though. And here's a cool tutorial for the shape masks. So you have up, down, left, and right, right? The shape mask will auto adjust to whatever. So how about a triangle? Run it. Priya? Do I have... Oh, video matting's on. Okay, well, you can do that too. That's fine. Totally fine. So video matting, RVM will also mask everything. I'm actually using Bria, what I want to call Bria, because I think that it works a lot better for alpha masking than the other matting, RVM robust video matting. Yeah, so that thing's cool. That's something that I need to play with more. But again, you can use that for masking too, and it's neat. I actually need to fix the image batches in that. But as you can see, if you put a triangle, it creates a triangle. If you put a circle, it'll mask out a circle. There we go. And so on and so forth. Like whatever you put in there, it will automatically detect what resolution you're at. And it should work with anything because my math should be good on this. It's going to work with just about anything within a like there's going to be a small margin of things that just don't work for some reason. It's like weird resolutions. So try to keep with like 9 by 16 or 16 by 9, like one of the two. You can also move them. So like let's give this a 3 instead of a 2. And it moves it up. Or give it a 1. And it moves it down. Oh, come on. Yep. Moves it down. And remasks it. So you can mask the crap out of things with this. Like it's gonna show the masks and what it's doing with them. You can see that it's like cutting off stuff, and it's yeah. This is still, of course, just masking that. But when you look at this one, it should have a lump. What? Are you both pulling from image composite 1? No. 1. 2. Something wrong. Oh no, not again. Oh man, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to fix that. I don't know why it's doing that. You can see it's masking out one side right, and it's masking out the other side wrong. It was doing this before, but it was doing it the opposite way. With the mask was the problem, and the inverted mask was like not the problem for some reason. I'll fix that. Anyway, the main point is you can move the mask. So, like, it also moves left and right. So, like, 2. Man, that is just about centered, isn't it? It is. It's about perfectly centered. And back to 1.3, which puts it off to the side. Change it back to a square. And then, of course, figure out why the inverted mask is not working. Because it should be. It's another thing I gotta fix. But I will fix it before I release it. That's something that I will be fixing today. Because my math is good, but something's going screwy and I don't know what it is. Really don't know what it is. Like, it seemed to be working before, but I guess with the circle it somehow doesn't. Yeah, that's right. You can see the mask there. It's masking it out perfectly. And now it's working again for some reason. I don't know. I guess it's got some bugs. But I'm going to release it, and hopefully everybody can figure out. Maybe somebody who's better at math than me can figure the rest of this out. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I am going to post this up on Banadoko and drop this on YouTube. So, you guys have an awesome day. See ya.